Supreme Court is hearing a challenge to its constitutionality and has sought Union government to stand. Supreme Court had held the Act enforced basis structure of the Constitution. PM must defend the Act and act as it upholds India's diversity. So these are the lines which have been taken by Asauddin Owaisi. And there, Asauddin Owaisi again back in the debate, again raising this issue. Let's see, wait and watch if the Prime Minister's office is going to respond on the same or the response from any response from the government will be there, but this is
any response from the government will be there, but this is again back. And there are few points which has been mentioned in the letter which has been written to the Prime Minister. But if I'll go through the letter, the third point is mentioning that while deciding the Babri Masjid dispute, the Honorable Supreme Court had stated that by enacting the 1991 Act, the state had enforced its constitutional commitment and operationalized its constitutional obligation to uphold the principle of secularism. So these are the points which has been mentioned by Asauddin Owaisi in this very letter. The letter has been written to the Prime Minister, whereas he's mentioning that Supreme Court has asked the final decision of the Union Government of India. So this is to see what exactly is going to happen next. But we have earlier also seen the same kind of debate, and now Asauddin Owaisi is again back debating on the same issue. Yes, back to you.
Yes, absolutely, Anuj. As you're pointing out, of course, Asauddin Owaisi writing to the Prime Minister over this. But Anuj, this of course is something that is expected to be brought to the fore by many other political leaders, as there are challenges to it now that are being made in various courts.
Oh, well, exactly. First, we need to understand if the matter is sub judice, then this has to be decided by the court, and that is the decision which has been taken by the Supreme Court to intervene. Like they have asked the government to intervene, and what exactly their point of view, what exactly their decision on this particular issue is. But this is going to be the political war of word which we are expecting, as this has been again started by Asauddin Owaisi. Now we are expecting political ramification of the same is going to be war of word, as we have seen it earlier also, the attacking and the counter attacking on the same issue. So this is to see what exactly will be the political ramification of the same. But yes, the war of word is expected, and this is going to be again debate. But as I pointed it out earlier also, the matter is sub judice. So this has to be taken by the Supreme Court, and this is going to be the Honorable Court which is going to decide the future course of action, that what exactly is going to happen. But there, Asauddin Owaisi himself, being a lawyer also, understanding the acts and the values of the acts and what had happened in past, mentioning those points in that very letter which has been written to the Prime Minister. This is to see what exactly will be the response. But as the matter is sub judice, the matter remains to be decided by the court only. That's the epic court, that's the Supreme Court. Yes.
Right, Anuj, of course, is bringing us the latest on this. Now, this debate, of course, coming back to the fore with the Supreme Court directing the centre, in a sense, to make it stand clear on whether a constitutional bench at the Ram Janmabhoomi case had already settled the question of the validity of the Places of Worship Act that was enacted in 1991.
Asauddin Owaisi is again back with the political debate on the Place of Worship Act. This is to wait and watch what exactly will be the response of Bharatiya Janata Party on the same. Stay tuned. We are reporting live on the story. Time for a short break.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Good evening and welcome. In May 2019, Narendra Modi was elected Prime Minister of India by a massive margin, a bigger margin, for a second time. At that time, the lobby realized that its time was up. So they conspired to create widespread violence across the country, especially in the national capital. They conspired to try and create Hindu-Muslim riots. CA was an excuse, CA was an opportunity. Now, when they realized that their campaign had fizzled out, that people were not accepting it. Then they took a more dangerous turn. They timed riots with the visit of the then American President Donald Trump to India. By now, the lobby was totally desperate. It had started thinking like a terrorist group. Terrorists kill people to get maximum attention. The lobby, like terrorists, wanted to kill people, organize the killing of people to disrupt the socio-political environment and arrange negative headlines about India in the international media. But viewers, all criminals and terrorists make a big mistake. And like all criminals and terrorists, the lobby also made that mistake, and it left behind its fingerprints. It left evidence, viewers, lots of evidence. Photographs, records of meetings, conversations, digital records, a lot more. Viewers, the lobby members are cowards. Cowards who are rootless wonders who cannot even win a housing society election. Among the cowards is the Tukre Tukre team member called Omar Khalid. Viewers, the lobby adopted him the day I exposed his involvement in the Bharat Tere Tere Tukre Honge event in JNU. You can Google that show, you can see how I exposed him, and he kept whining and crying and whining and crying and lying and whining and crying. Omar Khalid is an established coward who denies now, like all cowards do, his involvement in the crime of organizing the Delhi riots. But he and fellow coward Sarjil Imam and a few fake coward NGO types killed more than 50 citizens of this country in those riots. Omar Khalid deserves the strongest punishment. And so do the other cowards in the Tukre Tukre gang. Viewers, today the Delhi High Court has rejected Omar Khalid's bail, and I want to ask the hashtag Tukre Tukre cowards where they are hiding tonight. The nation wants to know, where are the Tukre Tukre cowards hiding tonight? That is my hashtag. Let's...
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
I'll speak. We are waiting for the detailed order. ठीक है? CBI की एप्लीकेशन डिसमिस हो गई।
सर, लेकिन सर सारी की CBI क्या तो कहेंगे कि अधिकारियों को गवाहों को डराया धमकाया?
ना कुछ नहीं कहा। कहाँ से?
जब आप पावर में आ गए सर,
पार्टी ऑफिस।
तेजस्वी one word, तेजस्वी।
A billion homes, a million stories. India's biggest news media conclave.
दादा, आपका रिएक्शन बात है?
One reaction for.
Do you feel that you've been sidelined, Dada?
यार फिर तुम ये प्रश्न
We are aware of how people, students, alumni gathered at the Harvard University campus to protest against the CAA. Let them protest. Provoking you on this, what are the far-reaching consequences of such act?
If India were not a victim of it, Jai Shankar would not be going around with a fire extinguisher putting out fires. Jai Shankar is putting out these fires almost one every week, but he has not figured out where is it coming from. If India were to be immune from all this, then you would not have Washington Post placing ads when there is a demonstration or riot in India going on, but they are. The Kurukshetra is global. Distance is absolutely irrelevant.
The Arugamaswamy Committee report makes scathing observations. Sasikala refutes charges. 7 days on, rape-accused Congress MLA still on the run. Will the party high command take action? Bengaluru toddler falls into an open stormwater drain, yet to be traced. Rescue operations underway. Prime Minister Modi is in Gujarat today, set to launch huge projects. Dr. H. Shankar exposes Pakistan, calls out the orchestration of terror attacks on Indian soil. Welcome back. You are with Republic TV. This is the Morning Express and I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Now, the National Investigation Agency is set to take over the Mominpur violence case. We are given to understand that the NIA will be taking over investigation into the violence in Kolkata's Mominpur after Durga Puja. The agency has registered an FIR in New Delhi over the violence in Kolkata's Mominpur and Iqbalpur areas. Now the FIR will be produced before a special NIA court in Kolkata. Sources also tell Republic TV that around 6 officers of the probe agency are in Kolkata to probe this particular case. A special team from the agency will soon the place where the clashes took place. So the NIA now taking over the probe into the Mominpur violence. Now the Kolkata police, of course, is already probing this case as well, and it has registered about 5 FIRs in this particular case. Let's go across to Kishale, who's joining us on the phone line. Kishale, good morning. Give us more details of the NIA now taking over this probe. Apart from that, we also know that the Kolkata police has already been investigating.
Well, yeah, Nupur, what you have rightly pointed out, that Kolkata police is already investigating this case, and already there are more than 40 arrests made, as we know till now. However, the big development is that the Home Ministry has handed over the case to NIA as well. And as you pointed out, there are special NIA investigators who are already in the city and who are trying to understand that what all are needed in order to proceed with the investigation. Today, the documents and the FIR will be produced in Bankshal Court, NIA Special Court here in Kolkata, and then further proceedings will be made in the case. Also, we are learning from our sources in the NIA that the special team will also be visiting the areas where all these communal clashes and violence took place in Mominpur and Iqbalpur area. NIA is also considering whether there was some instigation from any of the parties and what exactly instigated the whole violence exactly after the Lakshmi Puja day, on the night before Lakshmi Puja and on the Lakshmi Puja day here in Kolkata. Also, FIR has been registered, as you pointed out, and after that, NIA is also collecting documents and evidences from the spot and from the eyewitnesses who were there at that place. We saw how BJP had been visiting various places and various houses of the victims. Also, accounts directly from the victims will also be collected as we are trying to understand. And also, NIA will be carrying forward with the investigation, and Kolkata police is also a part of this investigation. There is a possibility that NIA will also coordinate with the Kolkata police in this matter. Nupur.
All right, Kishale, reporting on this from Kolkata. Thank you very much for joining us. So as Kishale is pointing out, of course, there are now 2 investigations that are consecutively on. One, of course, is by the NIA, and the other one is going to be by the Kolkata police, which is continuing as well. Now, the outrage over the targeted killings in Shopian in Jammu and Kashmir continues, even as the NC patriarch Farooq Abdullah has predicted more such incidents. The BJP has been quick to lash out at the leader for his comments, saying he is vitiating the atmosphere in the valley.
Late night on Monday, 2 labourers from Uttar Pradesh were killed in a terror attack in Shopian.
उसने ग्रेनेड थ्रो किया है, उन्होंने कन्फेस भी कर लिया है. बाकी उसके साथ जो भी और लोग के साथ चलते हैं उसको भी अरेस्ट किया गया है, और हम लोग कॉर्डन सर्च जो हाईरोड बता रहे हैं वहाँ सर्च कर रहे हैं, और बहुत जल्दी जो मेन कल्प्रिट टेररिस्ट जो है जिसके लिए काम करता है ये लश्कर तैयबा का दानिश हो गया, चाहे यहाँ के डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमांडर आबिद हो गया, इसको भी जल्दी न्यूट्रलाइज करेंगे.
This is the 3rd incident of targeted killing in the valley in the last 3 days. And it comes exactly 10 hours after Farooq Abdullah made his statement.
ये कभी बंद नहीं होगा, जब तक इंसाफ नहीं होगा कभी बंद नहीं होगा. कहते थे पहले 370 से ये हो रहा, आज तो 370 नहीं है. मेरी क्यों मृत्यु हो रही है? इसके जिम्मेदार कौन है? बताइए मुझे.
पूरी दुनिया में बताया जा रहा है कि हालात हमने बेहतर कर दिए, बदल दिए.
अगर वो बेहतर कर दिए तो फिर ये पंडित बेचारा मारा नहीं जाता.
On Monday, Farooq Abdullah had justified the killings and predicted more such attacks.
a day after Farooq Abdullah made statement about the targeted killings in Shopian and hours after the two laborers were killed by LET in Harmain of Shopian. Now we are seeing the TRF, the offshoot of Lashkar-e-Toiba, coming all out and warning more attacks in the coming time.
And the BJP is blaming Farooq Abdullah's irresponsible statement for a wave of targeted killings.
कहीं ना कहीं मुझे ये भी लगता है कि जिस प्रकार से हमारे लीडर्स जो कश्मीर में बैठे हैं उनकी जो स्टेटमेंट्स आती हैं उसके आधार पर भी इस चीज़ को अंजाम में लाया जाता है। ये गलत है। ऐसी स्टेटमेंट देना बंद करें, पाकिस्तान की वकालत करना बंद करें।
There is massive anger against anti-India forces in the valley over the attacks on Hindus.
मुझे दुख है कुछ लोग इन आतंकवादियों के शिकार हुए, लेकिन आज मैं आपसे जरूर कहूंगा कि आतंकवाद समूल जम्मू कश्मीर में समाप्त हो, इसकी हर कोशिश अंतिम सांस तक की जाएगी।
Will the Gupkar gang take a clear stand on the issue of targeted killings and name Pakistan-backed terror for the spate of murders? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, the BBMP has begun its anti-encroachment drive in Bengaluru Western Central Zone. We're now getting pictures of the BBMP clearing illegal settlements on pedestrian sidewalks as well as demolishing sheds and makeshift shelters near Sajjan Rao Centre. Pictures on your screen or of how the BBMP is clearing and razing illegal structures on pedestrian walks. Now, the illegal constructions in Bengaluru, of course, have come into sharp focus ever since we've seen the flooding of the city being reported repeatedly in various parts every time there is a downpour. After this, of course, action has been taken by the BBMP. We are now joined by Prajwal. He's reporting live from Bengaluru. Prajwal, good morning. Action coming in from the BBMP, much delayed, many would say, but nevertheless still finally acting.
Absolutely, Nupur, because now we get to understand that these particular encroachments are being cleared by the BBMP in the West Zone as well as in the Central Zone as well. And this was done under the supervision of the BBMP Commissioner himself, because Mr. Tushar Girinath was also present at the spot, and he had taken out a survey this morning along with his team of officials as well as all the executive engineers and assistant executive engineers of the respective wards and the respective zones as well. And even the joint commissioners too had gone on to join Mr. Tushar Girinath. And as you were clearly pointing out, these illegal encroachments had come into a lot of focus when Bengaluru was inundated. And as the Met Department has also gone on to predict heavy rains for the next 4 to 5 days in Bengaluru, and we also saw that many streets in these particular zones were completely inundated, especially the central business district in Sultanpet and Tarakpet, and the majority of these blockages were caused mainly due to the illegal construction on the pedestrian walk and illegal construction almost on the crevices of the drains as well. So therefore, the BBMP has resumed its anti-encroachment drive. The anti-encroachment drive is already going in Mahadevpura zone as well as East Zone too, and mainly concentrating on parts of Vartur and Bomanahalli zone. And now finally the BBMP has also moved to the West Zone, and they are clearing out encroachments near VV-Puram ward at Sajjan Rao Circle.
All right, Prajwal over there bringing us those details of this anti-encroachment drive that's going on in Bengaluru. Thank you very much for joining us. And here's a quick look at what else is making news across the world this morning. Hundreds of Chileans engaged in massive protests in response to their unfulfilled demands of the 2019 riots. The protesters, especially students, burnt barricades to mark 3 years since a social uprising, which they say has not yet yielded the desired changes. Protests continued outside the City Hall entrance, demanding City Council stop its meeting until 2 of its councilmen resign. Their resignation is demanded on the grounds of the crude and racist remarks they made in a private meeting. The ongoing war in Ukraine was the main agenda of the defense meeting held between the United States Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and his Estonian counterpart Hannu Pevkur in the Pentagon.
meeting today couldn't have come at a more timely moment for security in Europe. We're now 8 months into Russia's unprovoked war of choice against Ukraine. And we've seen renewed and cruel Russian attacks on civilian targets. Nations of goodwill everywhere have spoken out against Putin's atrocities, his irresponsible rhetoric, his sham attempts to annex parts of sovereign Ukraine territory.
After the huge destruction by a mudslide in Las Tejerias a week ago, a second one has hit Marroquín in Venezuela. At least 3 people lost their lives and more than 50 properties were damaged. Russia was promised surface-to-surface missiles from Iran in addition to their drone supply, in a move likely to infuriate the United States and other Western powers. US President Joe Biden is all set to announce a plan to sell off the remaining 15 million barrels from the nation's emergency oil reserve by this year's end. The plan is intended to add enough supply to prevent sudden oil price hikes. You are watching Republic TV, and still to come on the Morning Express. Prime Minister Modi is in Gujarat. He's set to launch projects there. And the External Affairs Minister exposes Pakistan, calls out Pakistan's hand in orchestrating terror attacks in India.
A billion homes, a million stories. India's biggest news media conclave.
दादा आपका रिएक्शन बात रिएक्शन
one reaction for
do you feel the different side है दादा भाई
यार फिर तुम ये प्रश्न
News media is evolving. The mediums are expanding. The opportunities are plenty. It is time to put the focus on what is the future of news media. India's biggest news federation brings you India's biggest news media conclave.
Why has Hinduism become an easy target? Have you ever come across any other religion being demeaned at a scholarly level?
Not even demean, but even an honest criticism would be called Islamophobia in the case of one religion. When there is a civilizational attack on our culture and it is a few individuals who are standing up to it and facing it, the government is not stepping in to help. India needs to step up its responsibility to protect Indian civilization.
The biggest questions, the most invigorating conversations, the most crucial news conclave in India. Don't miss India's biggest movers and shakers at India's biggest news media conclave. The faces that matter, the most compelling conversations, the issues never discussed before. India's biggest news media conclave.
मनीष जी, आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है।
आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
Can Indian news be contained to the corners of Lutyens? India's biggest news media conclave.
We are aware of how people, students, alumni gathered at the Harvard University campus to protest against the CAA. Let them protest. Provoking you on this, what are the far-reaching consequences of such act?
If India were not a victim of it, Jai Shankar would not be going around with a fire extinguisher putting out fires. Jai Shankar is putting out these fires almost one every week, but he has not figured out where is it coming from. India were to be immune from all this.
Welcome back. You are watching the Morning Express. Now, a rare one-man protest by the bridge man in China has inspired solidarity protests around the world after the man accused Xi Jinping of being a dictator.
A rare one-man protest against Xi Jinping, the president of China, has inspired solidarity protests around the world. The events unfolded last Thursday after a man strung banners across a bridge in Beijing, accusing Xi Jinping of being a dictator. The man was subsequently detained, but photos of his action have been spread around the world as China's ruling party is set to meet this week. Now being touted as the bridge man, the unidentified male has been the subject of extensive online investigations into his identity. The protesters were fired upon by Chinese tanks and soldiers carrying assault rifles. Internet sleuths have identified the mysterious lone protester as a researcher and physicist hailing from a village in the northern province. Activists across the globe have praised the bridge man for protesting against Xi Jinping, while some have expressed fears for the welfare of the unidentified demonstrator. Videos from the scene showed the man being apprehended by police officers and taken into a car. Meanwhile, chaos ensued in Manchester in United Kingdom when a protester was hauled to the ground of the Chinese consulate and several beaten up by a group of unidentified men. Several pro-democratic demonstrators gathered outside the consulate to stage a protest and demand the liberation of Hong Kong on Sunday, the same day when Xi Jinping commenced the Communist Party's summit in Beijing. Following the incident, China remained defiant and claimed that disturbing elements, including the male protester, had entered the compound illegally. The incident sparked a reaction from UK Labour's Foreign Affairs spokesman David Lammy, who said that the quashing of peaceful protest will never be tolerated on UK streets. Meanwhile, UK's Greater Manchester Police has launched an investigation into the incident. Agency report for Republic TV.
And you are watching Republic TV, and up next, Prime Minister Modi is in Gujarat. He's set to launch infrastructure projects. And the External Affairs Minister exposes Pakistan, calls out Pakistan's hand in orchestrating terror in India.
Why has Hinduism become an easy target? Have you ever come across any other religion being demeaned at a scholarly level?
Not even demean, but even an honest criticism would be called Islamophobia in the case of one religion. When there is a civilizational attack on our culture and it is a few individuals who are standing up to it and facing it, the government is not stepping in to help. India needs to step up its responsibility to protect Indian civilization.
News media is evolving. The mediums are expanding. The opportunities are plenty. It is time to put the focus on what is the future of news media. India's biggest news federation brings you India's biggest news media conclave.
Why has Hinduism become an easy target? Have you ever come across any other religion being demeaned at a scholarly level?
not even demean, but even an honest criticism would be called Islamophobia in the case of one religion. When there is a civilizational attack on our culture and it is a few individuals who are standing up to it and facing it, the government is not stepping in to help. India needs to step up its responsibility to protect Indian civilization.
The biggest questions, the most invigorating conversations, the most crucial news conclave in India. Don't miss India's biggest movers and shakers at India's biggest news media conclave. The faces that matter, the most compelling conversations, the issues never discussed before. India's biggest news media conclave.
मनीष जी, आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए थे, पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है।
आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
Can Indian news be contained to the corners of Lutyens? India's biggest news media conclave.
We are aware of how people, students, alumni gathered at the Harvard University campus.
And here's a quick look at what else is making news across the country this morning. It's a packed day for the Prime Minister as he's set to visit pole-bound Gujarat. The Prime Minister will be inaugurating the Defence Expo 2022. He will also lay the foundation stone of key projects in Rajkot. As the Congress party elects its president, it is likely that the results will be announced today. It's Mallikarjun Kharge versus Shashi Tharoor. The Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist who killed 2 labourers in Shopian was neutralised in an anti-terror operation in Jammu and Kashmir. Incriminating material, including arms and ammunition, was seized from the encounter site. The former AIADMK General Secretary V.K. Sasikala has refuted charges in the Arugama Swamy Inquiry Committee's report. She has further said that she is ready to face an inquiry if the need arises. As the Supreme Court hears petitions challenging the constitutionality of the Places of Worship Act, the AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has written to the Prime Minister urging him to defend the Act. He cited that the Act upholds India's diversity. Police have seized a huge quantity of drugs worth about 3.30 crore rupees from a truck in Karimganj along the Assam-Tripura border. Around 3,243 kgs of ganja has been recovered. The Coimbatore City Police have launched a new project called Police Akka to ensure safety of female students in colleges. Women police officers will visit colleges once a week. The Ministry of Home Affairs has ordered the National Investigation Agency to probe the October 9 violence in Mominpur in West Bengal. The NIA has registered an FIR in New Delhi and initiated a probe in the matter. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has landed in Mumbai today from his 3-day trip. Guterres will pay homage to the 2611 victims at the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel as part of his first-day schedule. And hundreds of students have rallied in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, protesting the candidacy of President Jair Bolsonaro for the upcoming elections. The protest is aimed at proposed education budget cuts that will affect universities. You are watching Republic TV. On the other side, Arugama Swamy committee report makes scathing observation. Sasikala refutes the charges. 7 days on, the rape accused Congress MLA still on the run. Will the party high command take action?
The biggest questions, the most invigorating conversations, the most crucial news conclave in India. Don't miss India's biggest movers and shakers at India's biggest news media conclave. The faces that matter, the most compelling conversations, the issues never discussed before. India's biggest news media conclave.
मनीष जी, आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए थे, पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है।
आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
Can Indian news be contained to the corners of Lutyens? India's biggest news media conclave.
We are aware of how people, students, alumni gathered at the Harvard University campus to protest against the CAA. Let them protest. Provoking you on this, what are the far-reaching consequences of such act?
If India were not a victim of it, Jai Shankar would not be going around with a fire extinguisher putting out fires. Jai Shankar is putting out these fires almost one every week, but he has not figured out where is it coming from. If India were to be immune from all this, then you would not have Washington Post placing ads when there is a demonstration or riot in India going on, but they are. The Kurukshetra is global. Distance is absolutely irrelevant.
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
I'll speak. We are waiting for the detailed order. ठीक है? CBI की एप्लीकेशन डिसमिस हो गई।
सर लेकिन CBI क्या तो कहेंगे कि अधिकारियों को गवाहों को डराया धमकाया?
ना कुछ नहीं कहा। कहाँ से?
जब आप पावर में आ गए सर।
पार्टी ऑफ है।
तेजस्वी one word. तेजस्वी।
A billion homes, a million stories. India's biggest news media conclave.
दादा आपका रिएक्शन बात है? रिएक्शन?
One reaction for. Do you feel the different side है? दादा भाई.
यार फिर तुम ये प्रश्न.
News media is evolving.
Why has Hinduism become an easy target here? Have you ever come across any other religion being demeaned at a scholarly level?
Not even demeaned, but even an honest criticism would be called Islamophobia in the case of one religion. When there is a civilizational attack on our culture and it is a few individuals who are standing up to it and facing it, the government is not stepping in to help. India needs to step up its responsibility to protect Indian civilization.
Here are the headlines at 9 a.m. this morning. Clincher Arumagaswamy Committee report makes scathing observations. Sasikala refutes charges. 8 days on, rape accused Congress MLA still on the run. Will the party high command take action is the question. Bengaluru toddler falls into open stormwater drain. Yet to be traced, rescue operations are underway. Prime Minister Modi in Gujarat set to launch mega projects. Jai Shankar exposes Pakistan, calls out Islamabad's hand in orchestrating terror attacks on India. A very good morning. Thanks for tuning into Republic TV. I'm Nivedna Prabhu. You are watching Live and Breaking. Starting off with breaking news coming in. BJP releases a list of 62 candidates for the upcoming Himachal Pradesh Assembly election. Now, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur to contest from Siraj, Anil Sharma to contest from Mandi, and Satpal Singh Satti to contest from Una. The election is scheduled to be held on 12th November. So that is the big news coming in, where BJP has released the list of 62 candidates, and this, of course, is for the Himachal elections. For more information on this, we're cutting across to Aishwarya Kapoor, who's joining us on the phone lines. Aishwarya, very good morning to you. Give us the latest in terms of these names that have come out and where will they be contesting from?
Good morning to you, Nivedna, and to our viewers. And this is an important meeting. Yesterday, there was the CEC in presence of the Prime Minister, Home Minister, and then the BJP National President at the BJP headquarters in the national capital. In that meeting, both Himachal and then Gujarat were discussed. But as the Himachal election dates are already out, the first list of the candidates of 62 BJP leaders is out. Congress had already come out yesterday. The AIADMK party was first in this. Hence, the BJP, not wasting any time, has come out with a list of 62 candidates. And as you just said, Jairam Thakur is going to be the leader there. But Prime Minister Modi is going to have at least half a dozen rallies in Himachal itself. So very clearly, BJP is not going to leave any stone unturned. They know it is not easy. The hilly state of Himachal has basically every time swing between the Congress and the BJP alternatively. But this time around, BJP wants to create history and hence is not going to leave any stone unturned. This is the first list. Very interestingly, it has several new faces, around 15 to 16 new faces as far as the BJP is concerned, but that's also very serious experienced leaders from the Himachal Pradesh cadre of the BJP have been included. Back to you, Nivedna.
Right. Thank you, Aishwarya. Well, that was our Executive Editor Politics talking to us about the fact that BJP has released the list of 62 candidates for the Himachal Pradesh elections. But we're also cutting across to Piyush Ori, who's joining us on this latest development. Piyush, over to you to give us other details about the fact that these names have also come out. Crucial elections up ahead. Over to you to give us the latest on the front in terms of certain names where they'll be contesting from, if you could tell us.
So yes, good morning, Nivedna, and you rightly said that Himachal Pradesh, despite being a small state, despite having a population of only 55 lakhs, is a very important state for not only BJP but also Congress. And they understand the worth of these elections which are going to be held on November 12th. So yes, as Aishwarya rightly pointed out, the Congress has already given its list, and as well as Aam Aadmi Party, the third player in this fray of elections, have also released its list. So this was the time for BJP to also now start preparing. And yesterday what we saw was there was a marathon meeting which was being organized by the BJP top leadership, which was also attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And finally, 62 out of 68 seats list has been released, and what we know is that Jairam Thakur, the prevailing Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, is going to be contesting from seat Siraj. Now, as I said, that this is a very crucial state, and this is also a very key state because voters over here in Himachal Pradesh does not actually vote the government twice. So this is going to be a neck-to-neck fight between BJP as well as Congress. Mind you, Congress, even though weak politically, even though it is quite weak centrally, has a very strong backing over here in Himachal Pradesh. So it is going to be a neck-to-neck fight between BJP and Congress, and it is going to be very interesting to see that how Aam Aadmi Party fares in these elections. Back to you in the studio.
Right, Piyush, of course, talking about the list as well. All right, so we'll of course continue to talk, get the latest development on this particular story. But of course, the big news that is coming in is that BJP has released a list of 62 candidates for the upcoming Himachal Pradesh Assembly election, where Piyush Ori as well as Aishwarya Kapoor were pointing out Chief Minister Jairam Thakur to contest from Siraj, Anil Sharma to contest from Mandi, and Satpal Singh Sati to contest from Unana. Of course, this is a crucial election and it is scheduled to be held on November 12th. Going on to more breaking news that is coming in. Pakistan is likely to pull out of the ODI World Cup, which is scheduled to be held next year, if India do not travel for the Asia Cup. Now, Pakistan on Tuesday threatened to pull out of the next year's World Cup in India, reacting strongly to BCCI Secretary Jai Shah's statement that they would prefer to play the Asia Cup at a neutral venue. Now, Pakistan is scheduled to host the next edition of the Asia Cup next year as per Asian Cricket Council's Executive Board's decision. Now, incidentally, Shah is the president of Asian Cricket Council. And sources close to PCB chairman Ramesh Raja indicated that one of the options that they are mulling over after Shah's statement is to pull out of the 50-over ICC World Cup in India. Now, PCB sources said that Raja would be sending a strong letter to the ACC on the matter and would be demanding an emergency meeting of the ACC board to be convened in Melbourne next month to discuss Shah's statement. The insider also disclosed that the PCB had decided to look at several options and would not accept any disruptions to its hosting rights. Now, remember earlier as well, the ECB, that is the English Cricket Board, had also stated that if they wanted a neutral venue, they were open to actually be giving that option as well. But of course, the latest development coming in. All right, so we also have Srijani giving us latest inputs. So let's go over to her to get the latest developments. Over to you.
Coming in place as Pakistan now has threatened to pull out of ODI World Cup that was set to take place in India at an Indian venue. This comes after BCCI Secretary Jai Shah clarified yesterday that India won't travel to Pakistan for the Asia Cup 2023, and that means Pakistan would also not come to India for the Asia Cup. So that means possibly that it's going to happen at a neutral venue. So there was a deprecation, and now as it stands out, Pakistan has probably threatened to pull out of ODI World Cup. Back to you.
Talking about the neutral venues, are there any suggestions as well? Because we remember earlier the ECB had also made a statement on this, when this entire discussion was happening. So on that front, what are the latest details? Srijani, if you can hear me? All right, we'll try connecting.
It stands out that Ramesh Raja, the PCB chairman, the Pakistan Cricket Board chairman, he is also going to send out a letter to the BCCI, probably, a very stern letter, a very brutal letter, confirming their stance on the ODI World Cup, that they are not going to come to India to play the ODI World Cup if India is not willing to travel to Pakistan for the Asia Cup next year. So as it stands out, more developments coming in, more developments likely to follow. We'll get you all the updates.
All right. Thank you, Srijani, for getting us this latest inputs. Well, of course, the ODI World Cup 2023 is going to be hosted in India next year, the huge campaign that we will be seeing. So the latest on that front is that now the Pakistan has said that they're likely to pull out of the ODI World Cup if India do not travel for the Asia Cup in Pakistan. Now, we'll of course continue to track the story right here on Republic, but moving on to other news in brief that we're tracking at this hour. It's a packed day for Prime Minister Modi as he's all set to visit pole-bound Gujarat today. Now, from inaugurating the Defence Expo 2022 to laying foundation stone of key projects in Rajkot, all are lined up for Gujarat. The presidential level comedy of the Congress party is likely to come to an end as the party is all set to get its first non-Gandhi president in 24 years today. It's Arjun Kharge versus Shashi Tharoor in the fray. The LET terrorist who killed 2 labourers in Shopian was neutralised in an anti-terror operation in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, incriminating materials, including arms and ammunition, was seized from the encounter site. The former AIADMK General Secretary V.K. Sasikala refuted charges in the Arumagaswamy Enquiry Committee's report. She further stated that she's ready to face an inquiry if needed. As Supreme Court hears the petitions challenging the Constitutional of Places of Worships Act, AIMIM Chief Owaisi writes to Prime Minister Modi urging him to defend the Act. He cited that the Act upholds India's diversity. Police seized a huge quantity of drugs worth rupees 3.30 crores from a truck in Karimganj along the Assam-Tripura border. Now around 3,243 kgs of ganja has been recovered. Coimbatore City Police launched a new project, Police Akka, to ensure safety of female students in colleges. The women police officials will visit the colleges once in a week or 15 days. The Ministry of Home Affairs has ordered the National Investigative Agency to probe the October 9 violence in Momnipur, West Bengal. The NIA has re-registered an FIR in New Delhi and initiated a probe in the matter. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres landed in Mumbai today for his 3-day trip. Now, Guterres will pay homage to the 2611 victims at the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel as a part of his first-day schedule. Hundreds of students rallied in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro protesting the candidacy of President Bolsonaro for the upcoming elections. The protest aimed at the proposed education budget cuts, which will affect the universities. Well, more breaking news coming in. This one from Bengaluru. A gaping crater has been formed on a road in Srirampura. The road has caved in and is 3 feet in depth. Now, we can also look at those visuals on our screens. Now, BBMP rushed to the spot after complaints by angry residents. The BBMP yet again blames the BWSSB for the apathy. This is the 8th road cave-in the last 1 month. So for more information on this, we're cutting across live to Prajwal, who's reporting on the story. Prajwal, good morning. This seems like, yet another classic case of civic apathy, number one, and also the tussle of responsibility. Now, the BWSSB continues to blame the BBMP and vice versa. But first, let's talk about this particular incident that has come out of Srirampura. In fact, this is the 8th road cave-in in the last 1 month.
Absolutely, Nivedna, because now if we're looking at the entire incident here, especially in Srirampura, this was also very close.
All right, the audio is a little poor. We'll try to connect him to a bit. But of course, this is once again yet another episode of the pothole menace in Bengaluru. The question really is, what is the civic body, that is whether it is the BBMP or the BWSSB doing in such a case where the visuals clearly can show that the cognizance of this matter has to be taken. Now, what we're understanding about this particular episode is that the pothole that we can see here is in Srirampura, and the road has caved in and is 3 feet in depth. Now, BBMP rushed to the spot after complaints by angry residents is what we're learning so far. Now, once again, the civic body, that is the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palike, has blamed BWSSB for the apathy. But remember, this is the 8th road cave-in in the last 1 month. So, yet another embarrassing moment for the civic body coming out of Bengaluru, which is definitely crumbling in terms of infrastructure. In fact, one has to actually remember and point out that Karnataka pays the highest road tax in the country, but the condition of the roads clearly is definitely anything but that. So definitely the question arises, what are the civic bodies doing in terms of ensuring that citizens have better access to these roads? Okay, we're connecting once again to Prajwal, who's reporting on the story. Prajwal, talking about this entire incident, we understand that it is 3 feet in dead. Just to kind of also talk about the fact that Uma Devi, the 47-year-old, lost her life yesterday because of the pothole. So clearly, there is a lack of responsibility from the civic body that is coming out of Bengaluru with these instances happening yet again.
Absolutely, Nivedna, because looking at all these instances which has come to light across Bengaluru city, the BBMP is clearly engaging in a blame game along with the BWSSP over here, and that has been the case in most of the road events. And even if we are looking at the craters over here, they are 3 feet in depth, and this is a death trap out there for all the motorists. But thankfully, due to the alert residents in Sri Rampura, they immediately called the BBMP. They started protesting, and therefore the BBMP were forced to pull up the shock and fill this particular trench that we are seeing. But again, the problem lies with the fact that the BWSSP pipes are leaking underneath, and therefore the structure of the roads are basically quite loose, and the bitumen are giving way, and therefore it is collapsing. And this is not the only case in Sri Rampura. This was the same case at the Kundavahalli Junction, the Sumlaji flyover, or else the Subarajan Das Road on Himachal main gate. So all these roads pointed out to one particular point, stating that it was the BWSSP is the leaking pipes which was causing this particular problem. But then now the residents are also questioning whether the BBMP and the BWSSP authorities are not in sync with each other, because if the BWSSP knows that there is a main road which is going by, there is also a separate area which is earmarked for laying these particular pipes which will have to pass through, because these pipes are quite, which is 10 feet in width, and this is basically the Kaveri pipeline, the drinking water supply to the entire city of Bengaluru, which goes through these pipelines. So that is one of the major problems that they will have to look forward, and the BWSSP and the BBMP will have to work in sync.
Right. Thank you, Prajwal, for getting us all those inputs. Well, yet another episode of Pothole Menace clearly coming out of the IT hub of the country in Bengaluru. We'll continue to get the latest developments on the front of what is the civic body, that is either the BBMP or the BWSSP, doing to take cognizance of the situation. We're slipping into a short break now. Lots more lined up on the other side. Clincher Arumugaswamy committee report makes scathing observations. Sasikala refutes charges. And still to come, 8 days on, rape accused Congress MLA still on the run. Will the party high command take action is the big question. We'll get you the latest on that after a short break. Stay tuned.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Good evening and welcome. In May 2019, Narendra Modi was elected Prime Minister of India by a massive margin, a bigger margin for a second time. At that time, the lobby realized that its time was up. So they conspired to create widespread violence across the country, especially in the national capital. They conspired to try and create Hindu-Muslim riots. CA was an excuse, CA was an opportunity. Now, when they realized that their campaign had fizzled out, that people were not accepting it, then they took a more dangerous turn. They timed riots with the visit of the then American President Donald Trump to India. By now, the lobby was totally desperate. It had started thinking like a terrorist group. Terrorists kill people to get maximum attention. The lobby, like terrorists, wanted to kill people, organize the killing of people to disrupt the socio-political environment and arrange negative headlines about India in the international media. But viewers, all criminals and terrorists make a big mistake. And like all criminals and terrorists, the lobby also made that mistake, and it left behind its fingerprints. It left evidence, viewers, lots of evidence. Photographs, records of meetings, conversations, digital records, a lot more. Viewers, the lobby members are cowards. Cowards who are rootless wonders who cannot even win a housing society election. Among the cowards is the Tukre team member called Omar Khalid. Viewers, the lobby adopted him the day I exposed his involvement in the Bharat Tere Tukre Honge event in JNU. You can Google that show, you can see how I exposed him, and he kept whining and crying and whining and crying and lying and whining and crying. Omar Khalid is an established coward who denies now, like all cowards do, his involvement in the crime of organizing the Delhi riots. But he and fellow coward Sarjil Imam and a few fake coward NGO types killed more than 50 citizens of this country in those riots. Omar Khalid deserves the strongest punishment. And so do the other cowards in the Tukre gang. Viewers, today the Delhi High Court has rejected Omar Khalid's bail, and I want to ask the hashtag Tukre cowards where they are hiding tonight. The nation wants to know, where are the Tukre cowards hiding tonight? That is my hashtag. Let's.
मनीष जी, आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए थे, पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
Early in the morning at 9 o'clock, we saw AIADMK Palaniswamy along with his other AIADMK MLAs, including important AIADMK leaders like Sengotayan, etc., Jaikumar, etc., came here, Valluvar-Kotam, for a protest. As you can see now, the police did deny permission for them, and the police have immediately arrested the AIADMK leaders, MLAs, and the cadres, and they are taking them away, including AIADMK Palaniswamy and the important other leaders of AIADMK has now been taken away for detention for protesting in Valluvar-Kotam after denial of permission. As you can see, hundreds and hundreds of police are also being deployed here to make sure that there's no law and order issue, because that is exactly the police had cited. Initially, they had said that there is due to law and order issues, they will not be able to give permission. Late in the night, they have denied permission. Now the AIADMK is protesting against it. As we know that this protest is happening mainly because of the incident that took place in the Tamil Nadu State Assembly yesterday, and yesterday the speaker had sent away the AIADMK from the assembly, and that is the main reason the AIADMK has protesting today. We will be getting you more details from the ground about this protest of the AIADMK party. Stay tuned. We'll come back to you right after a short commercial break.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
We are aware of how people, students, alumni gathered at the Harvard University campus to protest against the CA. Let them protest. Provoking you on this, what are the far-reaching consequences of such act?
If India were not a victim of it, Jai Shankar would not be going around with a fire extinguisher putting out fires. Jai Shankar is putting out these fires almost one every week, but he has not figured out where is it coming from. If India were to be immune from all this, then you would not have Washington Post placing ads when there is a demonstration or riot in India going on, but they are. The Kurukshetra is global. Distance is absolutely irrelevant.
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
I'll speak. We are waiting for the detailed order. ठीक है? CBI की एप्लीकेशन डिसमिस हो गई।
सर, लेकिन सर की CBI क्या तो कह रही है कि अधिकारियों को गवाहों को डराया धमकाया।
ना कुछ नहीं कहा। कहाँ से?
जब आप पावर में आ गए सर।
पार्टी ऑफिस।
तेजस्वी वन वर्ड। तेजस्वी।
A billion homes, a million stories. India's biggest news media conclave.
दादा आपका रिएक्शन बात है रिएक्शन
One reaction. Do you feel the different side है दादा भाई?
यार फिर तुम ये प्रश्न
News media is evolving. The mediums are expanding. The opportunities are plenty. It is time to put the focus on what is the future of news media. India's biggest news federation brings you India's biggest news media conclave.
Why has Hinduism become an easy target here? Have you ever come across any other religion being demeaned at a scholarly level?
Not even demean, but even an honest criticism would be called Islamophobia in the case of one religion. When there is a civilizational attack on our culture and it is a few individuals who are standing up to it and facing it, the government is not stepping in to help. India needs to step up its responsibility to protect Indian civilization.
The biggest questions, the most invigorating conversations, the most crucial news conclave in India. Don't miss India's biggest movers and shakers at India's biggest news media conclave. The faces that matter, the most compelling conversations, the issues never discussed before. India's biggest news media conclave.
मनीष जी, आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है।
आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
Can Indian news be contained to the corners of Lutyens? India's biggest news media conclave.
We are aware of how people, students, alumni gathered at the Harvard University campus to protest against the CAA. Let them protest. Provoking you on this, what are the far-reaching consequences of such act?
If India were not a victim of it, Jai Shankar would not be going around with a fire extinguisher putting out fires. Jai Shankar is putting out these fires almost one every week, but he has not figured out where is it coming from. If India were to be immune from all this, then you would not have Washington Post placing ads when there is a demonstration or riot in India going on, but they are. The Kurukshetra is global. Distance is absolutely irrelevant.
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
I'll speak. We are waiting for the detailed order. ठीक है? CBI की एप्लीकेशन डिसमिस हो गई।
सर लेकिन सर की सीबीआई क्या तो कहेंगे कि अधिकारियों को गवाहों को डराया धमकाया?
ना कुछ नहीं कहा। कहाँ से?
जब आप पावर में आ गए सर
पार्टी ऑफिस।
तेजस्वी वन वर्ड तेजस्वी।
A billion homes, a million stories. India's biggest news media conclave.
दादा आपका रिएक्शन बात है रिएक्शन
One reaction. Do you feel the different side है दादा भाई?
यार फिर तुम ये प्रश्न
News media is evolving.
Headlines at 9:30. Trincha Arumagaswamy Committee report makes scathing observations. Sasikala refutes charges. Eight days on, rape accused Congress MLA still on the run. Will the party high command take action is the big question. Bengaluru toddler falls into stormwater drain. Yet to be traced. Rescue operations underway. Prime Minister Modi in Gujarat set to launch mega projects. Jaishankar exposes Pakistan, calls out Islamabad's hand in orchestrating terror attacks on India. India makes stand clear on Asia Cup. Pakistan now on the back foot, likely to pull out. Killer pothole claims one life after another, but no end to pothole menace in India's IT hub. A very good morning. Thanks for staying with us on Live and Breaking. I'm Nivedna Prabhu and starting off with breaking news that is coming in. Now, this comes a week after rape charges were filed against Eldoze Kunnapalli. Sources have informed that the Congress legislator from Kerala's Perambur constituency is likely to be charged with attempt to murder. Now, a source also said that the investigation team is seriously considering including the attempt to murder charge against him. So 8 days on, the rape-accused Congress MLA is still on the run. Now, he in fact was booked. He's already facing a rape charge and is untraceable on the charge of attempt to murder is the latest is what we're understanding so far. In fact, he has also been invoked against the Perambur MLA. Now is section 307 of the IPC is what we're understanding. Besides rape, now attempt to murder, the Congress MLA has also been charged with assault following a complaint from the woman who had earlier alleged that he had abducted and manhandled her. For latest information on this, we're cutting across live to Aswin, who's getting us the latest. Aswin, coming to you, of course, this is a big development. He's still on the run. What is the latest in terms of the charges that are being leveled against him?
Well, it was on October 11th that a case was registered against the Perambur MLA. Remember, he's a two-time MLA of the Congress party from Perambur constituency in Kochi. He has been accused of abduction and sexual assault of a teacher who has said that they have been living together for some time. So she has said at multiple places she was assaulted, and also publicly she was also assaulted. The crime branch which took over the case has also found out that there were even attempts of murder against the victim as well. What is most shocking is the fact that it's been almost 8 days and the MLA is still on the run, and the police claims that they have absolutely no details about the whereabouts where the MLA who has been accused under various charges, including rape case under 376, 307 and other charges, are all absconding in 8 days, and the police is still not able to trace the accused MLA. The BJP has come forward to say that this has absolutely shown the hidden friendship between the ruling LDF and the Congress-led UDF in the state, as no stern action has been taken against the accused MLA. In fact, he has not even been taken into custody as well. Meanwhile, Chief Minister of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, on last evening to the media, he said stern action will be taken against the crime that has been allegedly been perpetrated by the MLA. But saying that it's been 8 days since the MLA has been absconding, the police has not yet been able to nab him. And remember, he is a people's representative who's on the run, and he's from the grand old Indian National Congress.
Aswin, of course, talking about these charges that are leveled against him are they are serious in nature. But on the other hand, talking about this case, were there other people also named in this FIR that was registered?
Yes, absolutely. His accomplices and also his private secretary, two of them have also been put as an accused in this case, because the woman has come out to claim that outside the PWD quarters on August 5th and August 6th and on September 14th, she was assaulted as well. The crime branch has been investigating the case. In fact, they have also found out evidence of personal materials that has been used by the MLA at the home of the lady as well. So the survivor has given enough evidence. The crime branch is all have to do is find the person, find the accused MLA and arrest him and take him into custody. But for last 8 days, we see that there is a slow action from the part of the police. Meanwhile, the Congress party, especially the leader of opposition, V.D. Satish, has said if he has done something wrong, he must be brought to book. But it's been 8 days. Serious allegations have been charged against the two-time MLA, but even the Congress party seems to be mute and they're not responding to the entire issue that has come out in Kerala, and people are discussing at large where a people's representative can go, where a people's representative can be absconding for 8 days. It's a serious problem, and the laxity in the way the Kerala police is also functioning as well.
Right. Thanks, Ashwin, for getting us all the latest details on this. Well, the Congress MLA continues to be on the run, like Ashwin was pointing out. The Chief Minister of Kerala, Vijayan, has, of course, said that they will take cognizance of this particular issue of the serious allegations that have been levelled against the Congress MLA. But 8 days on and he is still on the run. Well, shifting focus to Chennai, we're cutting across to Chennai, where the AIADMK's hunger strike is currently underway. A mega showdown in Chennai, currently by the EPS camp. For more on this, we're joined in by our correspondent Varshini, who is reporting live from there. Varshini, give us the latest in terms of what is happening with the mega showdown in Chennai.
Well, definitely, as we know what happened in the assembly yesterday, it was a huge ruckus when the AIADMK leader of opposition, Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, questioned about, changing the deputy leader of opposition post from O. Paneerselvam to R.B. Udaya Kumar, and he also requested earlier by sending letters to the speaker, but the speaker did not make this decision in the assembly yesterday, for which the AIADMK MLAs made a ruckus, and the speaker even ordered the security of the assembly to remove the AIADMK MLAs from the assembly. And against this whole incident, the AIADMK party announced a dharna, a hunger fast today in Chennai, for which the Chennai city police had denied permission, citing law and order issues. But still, the AIADMK MLAs, led by their new interim general secretary Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, gathered here and they started the dharna, after which we saw hundreds police immediately gathering here. They've already been deployed to make sure that they will be able to remove all these AIADMK people who gathered here in the morning. And as per the plan, they even removed every single AIADMK cadre, MLA, leaders, everybody, and they have taken them for detention. They've arrested everybody, and this is going to be definitely a huge issue, because the AIADMK has been citing that the DMK is abusing the power they have with them, and this is a democratic killing, are the kind of the words that are being used by AIADMK during the dharna. And they have also very specifically told that they will continue with these protests. They will not stop, as this is a very important issue for them, that their democratic rights are being snatched by the DMK government, is what the AIADMK is accusing of. Every single person, every last one of them is being arrested and being taken away by the Greater Chennai City Police, as we can see, and the heavy security has also been deployed here, so that another batch or another group of AIADMK cadres cannot come back here for the protest. And that is the kind of the situation that currently we are picking up from the ground now.
Well, the EPS faction wanted the speaker to, of course, accept the removal of OPS and replace him with Uday Kumar. But what is the bone of contention for not having OPS? What is the reason that they are stating in terms of the protest?
As we know that on July 11th, when the General Council happened, OPS, not only Edappadi K. Palaniswamy was elected as the interim General Secretary, but at the same time, OPS and his faction of supporters were completely removed from even the primary membership of the party, even after many cases in the Madras High Court, appeals in the Supreme Court, everything. Now it is, in a state where Edappadi K. Palaniswamy is working as the interim General Secretary, which therefore they are stating that Paneerselvam does not belong to the AIADMK party anymore, and that is why he has to be removed from the deputy leader of opposition position. But at the same time, the speaker yesterday made a very big clear statement about what is the rules of the assembly, and there is only a leader of opposition post that is very important, but deputy leader of opposition post is not necessarily had to be signed off by the speaker. Therefore it is up to the party to decide to keep whoever they want in the position. Therefore the speaker did not want to involve in the situation. But at the same time, while all of this was going on, Paneerselvam was seen sitting on the deputy leader of opposition chair very next to Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, which is when the AIADMK MLAs made the whole ruckus in the assembly yesterday, and they had to be removed from the assembly by the speaker for the other assembly proceedings to happen. And that is why this protest was announced, and that is why this whole dharna has been happening, and the arrest has been following after all that.
Right. Thank you, Varshini, for getting us the latest inputs on the mega showdown in Chennai. We'll, of course, continue to track all those developments coming out of Chennai right here on Republic TV. Well, moving on, organized on the theme of Path to Pride, the 12th edition of Defence Expo has kicked off in Gandhinagar. As many as 1,340 Indian companies are showcasing their products and innovation in the exhibition. Here's a report.
Artificial intelligence is not just something that is restricted to the sci-fi novels. It is a reality, and it is not just a reality, it is materialized in the defense sector as well now. And standing here right now at the Indian Pavilion, it is with great pride that we see that artificial intelligence with indigenous companies that has been inculcated in the defense sector and in separate technological advancements that have been made, and we will be walking you through some of them and get you through the details of what's really happening here in the Defence Expo here in Gandhinagar, where in the Indian Pavilion we see several in fact of these exhibitions that have been made of the kind of technological advancements that have been made in the defense sector as well, and how the artificial intelligence also helps in creating better lives in the defense sector as well. Let's get in a word from some of the exhibitors here. Let's get an understanding of how the AI is actually helping make the defense sector a little better. Hi, if you could also tell our viewers your name and tell us about your exhibition here.
Sure. My name is Nutan. I'm the CEO of Vizira. It's a startup from Mysore. We have developed a tactical communication system primarily intended for special operations, which means missions in cases where counterinsurgency and counterterrorism happens, like Uri, where soldiers, there's a lack of communication. The effective communication is less than 50%. That means if the mission happens for 10 minutes, soldiers are able to communicate only for less than 5 minutes. Because during such scenarios where soldiers, even a small whisper will travel a long distance, and enemies can detect the whereabouts of our soldiers, which is very dangerous for our missions. So,
could you explain to me a little bit about the exhibit here as well, and how this would help in this communication as well, a better communication that you have been talking. You're talking also about neurolinguistics also being used in this.
Yes, it's a system of, I can just, so all the electronics are embedded within the uniform, and it's creating a digital twin of the soldier, which means it's modeling the motion, the health of the soldier in real time. and it's reading the intention. When soldiers are trained to communicate using hand gestures and other body languages, the system reads through AI and signal processing and sends it across to other soldiers, and the other soldiers also can receive the message through a brain link, external brain link, which means the message is sent through the skin, not necessarily through audio. So that helps soldiers. What that does is that it's activating a different region in the brain, and it helps in situational awareness and threat processing during those scenarios. It can also act as the same system can be, the secondary application is it can be used to control any of the machines, unmanned systems, UAVs, UGVs, unmanned submarines, and any remote control stations without using any remote, because it's already mapping the entire soldier. Another feature is that it also has mission analytics embedded, which means after the mission has been completed, the system analyzes and suggests where the mission can be better.
So it also improves as per the data that is collected in each and every mission.
And it does it by keeping anonymity of the soldiers, so which is very crucial in terms of military.
Absolutely.
So that's what this is, first of its kind system in the world. It's a patented technology, and we intend to implement it with the special forces of the Indian Armed Forces.
You do see the kind of exhibitions that have been made, the kind of technological advancements, and of course now we do see that artificial intelligence that is going hand in hand with the defense sector, and how to make the human error and how to eliminate the human error as well. Right here at the Defence Expo 2022, where the Prime Minister is expected to arrive any minute now. We're showing you how the stage has been set up, and he will be coming here and inaugurating the Defence Expo 2022, and we'll be bringing you all the updates right after this very short break.
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
I'll speak. We are waiting for the detailed order. ठीक है? CBI की एप्लीकेशन डिसमिस हो गई।
सर लेकिन सर की CBI क्या तो कहेंगे कि अधिकारियों को गवाहों को डराया धमकाया?
ना कुछ नहीं कहा। कहाँ से?
जब आप पावर में आ गए सर।
पार्टी ऑफिस।
तेजस्वी one word. तेजस्वी।
A billion homes, a million stories. India's biggest news media conclave.
दादा आपका रिएक्शन बात है?
One reaction for. Do you feel the different side है दादा भाई?
यार फिर तुम ये प्रश्न
News media is evolving. The mediums are expanding. The opportunities are plenty. It is time to put the focus on what is the future of news media. India's biggest news federation brings you India's biggest news media conclave.
Why has Hinduism become an easy target? Have you ever come across any other religion being demeaned at a scholarly level?
Not even demean, but even an honest criticism would be called Islamophobia in the case of one religion. When there is a civilizational attack on our culture, and it is a few individuals who are standing up to it and facing it, the government is not stepping in to help. India needs to step up its responsibility to protect Indian civilization.
The biggest questions, the most invigorating conversations, the most crucial news conclave in India. Don't miss India's biggest movers and shakers at India's biggest news media conclave. The faces that matter,
Thanks for tuning into Republic TV. And moving on to more news that is coming in. The Defence Expo 2022, the 5-day Defence Expo in Gandhinagar, Gujarat got underway today. Now, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh had announced the curtain raiser that the event will showcase the government's Make in India, Make for the World vision. Now, the Expo will be open to the public on the last 2 days. For more information on this, we have Priyanka, who is joining us live and getting us the latest, all the action, in fact, from the ground. Priyanka, over to you to tell us what we can expect today in terms of this particular event. Quite exciting to be looking at the Make in India initiative as well in terms of the defense production. All right. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, of course, will also inaugurate the Defence Expo in Gandhinagar today. So, of course, this is about the fact that this Defence Expo is currently underway in Gandhinagar in Gujarat. This is India's biggest Defence Expo. Now, talking about the fact that this is going to be taking place, it has been also made keeping in mind the Atmanirbharta concept in defence. All right, let's shift our focus to Chennai, where the AIADMK is on a symbolic hunger fast with all the MLAs condemning the incident that happened in the State Assembly. In fact, our correspondent Varshini was also getting us the ground report on all the details that was happening there. Heavy security also being deployed. But just talking about this hunger strike that is happening in Chennai, the fact that the Interim General Secretary, that is Edapadi K. Palaniswamy, is leading the protest. But of course, we're getting those visuals as well of the particular showdown in Chennai. For more on this, we're joined by Varshini Ramu once again to get us the latest details. Varshini, over to you to give us, what is the latest that is happening on the ground? What do you see around you also in terms of security deployment? If you could talk to us about the same.
Definitely yes. As we can see, that every single last member of the AIADMK who is coming here to the spot where the hunger for protest was supposed to be happening has been arrested, and they're all being taken away. It was just a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago, in fact, another former minister from the AIADMK, M.R. Vijayabhaskar, had arrived to the protest site, and now he is also being taken away. He is also been arrested, and every single last member is being arrested, and they're all being taken away for detention is what currently is happening, as the important leaders, including the Interim General Secretary Edapadi K. Palaniswamy, and other important leaders including Sengotai and C.V. Shanmugam, Kadambur Raju, D. Jayakumar, and so many important leaders of the AIADMK party have already been arrested and taken away for detention. Every last single person is being arrested, and we can see that the police are also heavily deployed in number so that they are they're able to remove every single person from here. While few seconds ago, the former minister M.R. Vijayabhaskar spoke to us, he told about how this is abuse of power, and that DMK they should have given us permission. We would have done a very peaceful dharna rather than this kind of an issue that's happening here. It's all because of the DMK who's abusing their power. They are making all efforts to make sure that AIADMK is portrayed in a bad way. Even in the assembly yesterday, when we asked about the deputy leader of opposition, because the speaker had mentioned that it is not an important position that has to be taken decision upon, and the minister, even former minister, even questioned about why if the position is not important and the speaker is not giving importance, then why was Durai Murugan the leader of opposition last time? Therefore, this whole issue is still growing. We will be giving you all details, all from the ground, minute to minute, after a small break.
A billion homes, a million stories. India's biggest news media conclave.
दादा आपका रिएक्शन वाला रिएक्शन
Do you feel the different side है दादा भाई?
यार फिर तुम ये प्रश्न
News media is evolving. The mediums are expanding. The opportunities are plenty. It is time to put the focus on what is the future of news media. India's biggest news federation brings you India's biggest news media conclave.
Why has Hinduism become an easy target? Have you ever come across any other religion being demeaned at a scholarly level?
Not even demean, but even an honest criticism would be called Islamophobia in the case of one religion. When there is a civilizational attack on our culture and it is a few individuals who are standing up to it and facing it, the government is not stepping in to help. India needs to step up its responsibility to protect Indian civilization.
The biggest questions, the most invigorating conversations, the most crucial news conclave in India. Don't miss India's biggest movers and shakers at India's biggest news media conclave. The faces that matter, the most compelling conversations, the issues never discussed before. India's biggest news media conclave.
मनीष जी, आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है।
आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
देश विदेश से आए हुए सभी रक्षा मंत्री श्री CDS श्री जनरल अनिल चौहान जी, नौसेना के प्रमुख श्री एडमिरल श्रीमान हरि कुमार जी, वायुसेना के प्रमुख एयर चीफ मार्शल श्री VR चौधरी जी, मुख्य सचिव श्री पंकज कुमार, आमंत्रित सब महानुभावे, नागरिक भाइयों बहनों, सबको मेरा नमस्कार। गुजरात की इस धरा पर गांधीनगर में आयोजित डिफेंस एक्सपो 2022 के 12वें संस्करण में आप सभी का स्वागत करते हुए मैं अत्यंत प्रसन्नता अनुभव कर रहा हूं। गुजरात को प्रतिष्ठित डिफेंस एक्सपो की मेजबानी का अवसर प्रदान करने के लिए मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री और माननीय रक्षा मंत्री का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। गुजरात की रक्षा शक्ति के प्रदर्शनी का एक वैश्विक मंच गुजरात में निर्मित हुआ है। माननीय मोदी जी जब गुजरात के मुख्यमंत्री थे तभी से उन्होंने राज्य में डिफेंस इकोसिस्टम के निर्माण के सफल प्रयास किए हैं। राज्य के युवाओं को काउंटर टेररिज्म, काउंटर इमरजेंसी, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, साइबर वॉरफेयर, सैन्य मामले और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस जैसे विषय की शिक्षा प्रदान करना उनका सपना है। माननीय मोदी जी ने इस सपने को वास्तविक रूप देने के लिए देश में पहली बार किसी राज्य सरकार द्वारा डिफेंस क्षेत्र में युवाओं को प्रशिक्षण प्रदान करने की पहल की थी। माननीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने गुजरात में 2009 में गुजरात फॉरेंसिक साइंस यूनिवर्सिटी और रक्षा शक्ति यूनिवर्सिटी की स्थापना से देश और राज्य के युवाओं को डिफेंस और सिक्योरिटी मैनेजमेंट जैसे समय अनुकूल शिक्षा अवसर दिए। यह दोनों यूनिवर्सिटी अब महत्व के राष्ट्रीय संस्थान NFSU और RRU के रूप में उभर आई है। NFSU विश्व की पहली और एकमात्र यूनिवर्सिटी है जो फॉरेंसिक, हेरिबियल, डिजिटल फॉरेंस और संबंधित विज्ञानों को समर्पित है। NFSU में बैलिस्टिक रिसर्च सेंटर और टेस्टिंग रेंज और बैलिस्टिक मटेरियल्स के मूल्यांकन का देश में अपनी तरह का सबसे पहला सेंटर कार्यरत है। प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट की सभी एडिशन में आयोजित प्रदर्शनी में डिफेंस कंपनी को उत्पादों को प्रदर्शित करने के लिए खास डिफेंस पेविलियन को प्रोत्साहित किया है। कई गणमान्य डिफेंस कंपनीज को अपने डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट प्रदर्शित करने का अवसर भी उन्होंने दिया है। इसके परिणाम स्वरूप गुजरात में ऐसे कई MSME है जो भारत के स्ट्रेटेजिकल एरोस्पेस और डिफेंस कार्यक्रमों के लिए महत्वपूर्ण पार्ट्स सप्लाई करते हैं। डिफेंस एक्सपो के द्वारा प्रधानमंत्री जी ने गुजरात के ऐसे कई MSME उद्योग के लिए अपनी क्षमता प्रदर्शित करने का अवसर दिया है। गुजरात देश का एक ऐसा संवेदनशील राज्य है जिसकी थल, नभ और जल सीमा पड़ोसी देश से जुड़ी हैं। हमारे राज्य की सरहदी क्षेत्र बनासकांठा के दिशा में